Hi, my name is Cam Smith with U Sports Production, coming to you from Layritz Park in Victoria, BC on Thursday, August the 7th. Thank you for tuning in. We're at the finals of the Canadian Little League Championships, where the host team, Layritz All-Stars, take on Team BC out of Little Mountain, where the winner will represent Canada at the upcoming World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Layritz comes into the finals with a 7-0 record in tournament play, while Little Mountain had only one loss at the hands of Layritz in the second game of round-robin play. It's every ball player's dream to play in a national championship, but playing at home in front of a huge crowd just makes the game that much more exciting. Little Mountain fans traveled in strong numbers to support their team, which is aiming for a return to the World Series for the first time since 2022. Both of these teams have a strong defense, lively bats, and excellent pitching, which bodes well for today's final. On the mound for Layritz today is Filipovic, a strong veteran right-hander that throws strikes and keeps his composure in big games. Little Mountain counters with right-hander Tyson Gironce, a powerful pitcher with an outstanding curveball. Both of these teams have played excellent ball to get to here today. This is going to be a good one, folks. Little Mountain and the Layritz All-Stars for a Canadian Championship. Let's play some ball. And Cruz leading things off for Little Mountain is a full count. Filipovic, he's going to, right down the middle, and that is driven deep. Oh, look at the wheels right there. But Trump, that's a beauty. The kid covers ground nicely. You gotta love that. And next up is Felix. Felix facing Filipovic, and Felix just rips this ball. Oh, Beach with a great snag. That's a beauty right there. 2 quick outs for this Layritz squad. And that'll bring up Caleb to bat. And Caleb, he's got a couple of strikes on him. And Filipovic with the pitch. And that's going to be slashed. That gets right through the infield. And that's going to be a single right there for Caleb Jackson. And then next up to the plate is Misha. And Lee, he's a tough customer. And Lee with a runner on first. He's going to take Filipovic pitch, and he's going to drive it the opposite way. And Jackson turning on the Jets, and quickly Crump gets it in to the relay man, but that's going to hold Jackson at third, and there's runners on the corners with 2 outs still, and that's going to bring up Gironce, and this is a tough one. Tyson Gironce, he's a good player, and he just slashes this ball the opposite way, and a runner's going to score. We have runners at first and second, and on the board early is Little Mountain, and that's going to bring Davis up to the plate. And Davis, he's got runners at first and second, 2 out. And Davis is going to rip this ball, and it just finds its way right through the infield again. And nice play to keep the runner at third. And now we've got the bases jacked with 2 outs. Everything's happened here with 2 outs. That's Luca at the plate. And what a pitch, high heat right there from Filipovic. That'll retire the side and limit the damage. Little Mountain getting 1 run, left 3 on base. Heading to the bottom of the second. And the bottom of the second, that's Cole Lamberton. And he's facing Gironce, and look at what a pitch by Gironce. And next up to bat, that's going to be Owen Crump. And Owen Crump takes the first pitch and absolutely drives this the opposite way. That is deep. They were playing him in, and this crowd is going nuts. And that is Crump heading into second with a stand-up double. Yeah, nice hit by this young man. And next up the bat is Ash. And whoa, what a pitch by Gironce for the strikeout. And that's going to be 2 out in the inning. And Crump just hitching somebody to knock him around. That's going to bring up Calibrick. And Calibrick, he's got 2-2 count on Gironce. Throws the heat, tailing fastball. And what a pitch, leaving a runner on base. That'll retire the side. 3 strikeouts there for Gironce. And, we head to the top of the second. And Little Mountain, that's going to be Max up to the plate. And Max, he's got 1 strike on him. And Filipovic with the pitch. It's a nice curveball, but getting a piece of that's right to Ash. And Ash with just a little trouble with that one. That's going to put the runner on first. And that's going to bring up Eric. And Eric is looking to drive this ball, and he will do that high hopper, and that goes right back to Filipovic, but that's a tough one. Just gets loose on him. We got runners at first and second, and that's going to bring up Emmett to the plate. And Emmett with runners at first and second. Looking to bring those runners, move them around. And he's got 2-1 count, and he hits this ball sharply over to Beach. Beach gets the runner at second, but that's going to be runners on the corners now with 1 out. And that'll bring up George, and George to the plate. And George looking to bring that runner home and cash him in. He's looking to bunt, and he puts down a nice bunt. Calibrick in quickly. He's going to take a sure out at first, but in to score. Put another one on board here for Little Mountain. And now with a runner at second. And one more in to make it 2-0. That's going to be Matthew. And Matthew facing Filipovic. And Filipovic, his first pitch. Matthew's looking to jump all over this one. And he does that. He just rips it on. That's another one that just finds its way through. It's like a seeing eye single. Just makes its way through the infield. And that moves the runner over to third. We got runners on the corner with 2 outs. Bringing up Cruz again. We got the top of the order, and Cruz, he's going to take this first pitch, throw the bunt down, but that's going to get straight up, and oh, what a play right there by Kane. Picks it up and feels that man coming, turns and tags him, and they just don't know what's going on because that happened so quick. That is the third out. What a play. Crowd going crazy. You got to love that. And then here in the bottom of the second, that's going to be Austin Kane, and Kane hits the ball to third, and that gets loose from the first baseman and making away to second. That is Austin Kane, and he's going to be in at second. Nobody out. And in business, that is Layritz All-Stars down 2-0, but the bottom of the second, they got something going on here. It's going to bring up Mason Beach, and the ball's going to get loose, and that's going to be Kane over to third, sliding in, and he is safe. And runner on third, nobody out, and Beach still up to bat, and he's wants to cash in that runner. And Beach, Tyson with the pitch. Beach will drive this ball deep. Oh, but that is what a beat on that. That's a great play right there by Matthew, bringing that in quickly, and they got a hold of runner at third. Fantastic play. And then next up, that's Sykes. And Tyson's got a couple strikes on him. It's 2-2. And Tyson, oh, what a curveball. That thing just snaps on you and sneaks up on you. And that's a great pitch for the second out. Runner still at third. That's going to bring up Parmar. A 2-2 count on Parmar. What a pitch there by Tyson Giroux. You got to love that. It's a young man pitching well early on. 5 strikeouts, first 2 innings. And we're going to head to the top of the third inning. That's going to be Felix. Felix having himself a great tournament on the mound and at the plate, and he's going to take this pitch. He's going to drive it once again. The seeing eye signal. I don't know what's going on, what they're drinking there in Little Mountain, but it's doing the job. And that's Felix at first. And that's going to bring up Caleb Jackson. And out of a 2-hole, Caleb Jackson, he's got a 3-hole, and he pounds this ball, bump all over it, fires it in, and that'll hold the runner at second. And with 1 out, that's going to bring up Lee. And Lee is just having a fantastic tournament. And Lee with a runner at second. Filipovic with the pitch, and Lee just gets all over this. Another seeing eye signal. Signal just makes its way out in the outfield. A little bobble there, and that's going to bring in the runner, and that's going to hold Lee at first, but score is now 3-0. And coach is doing a good job coming out, just talking with the Filipovic. He's pitching a good game. Just these hits are getting right through. And that brings up Giroux to the plate. And Giroux, he's going to turn on this Filipovic pitch, and that gets over to Beach. He sends it over to second, and that's a great idea right there. Great job by Beach, and he gets the lead runner, and that's going to bring up Davis to the plate. And a great pitcher by Filipovic. That handcuffs him. That's Beach over to first in time, and limiting it to 1 run again. 3-0 for this Little Mountain squad. And now Layritz got to get something going on the bats here, and that's Harley Horseman up to the plate. 2 strikes on him, and Giroux with that pitch again, just pulling the rope on that. And that thing's breaking hard. And then next up to bat, that is going to be Logan Barnes, and Barnes with 1 out in the bottom of the third. And Barnes trying to get something going here, and Giroux will throw some heat. Barnes gets a piece of it, but that is picked up nicely by Davis. That's Weibel, and that'll be for the out. That's 2 outs quickly. And then Sam Burns. Oh, there's a big pitch. He's going to walk right now. Gets away from Giroux. over to first. That's going to be Sam Burns. And then next up that's going to be Filipovic, the pitcher. Filipovic with the swing and a miss, pulling a rope again on that. That is G-Ross, and a great pitch. Retire the side, and still 3-0, top of the fourth. And that's Luka Filipovic. Rips it over the right over the plate, and that's picked up nicely by Ash. That is for the out. That's a great quick out right there. And then next up to bat, that's going to be Max. And Max Filipovic, 1-0 count on him. Filipovic with the pitch. Nice pitch, but getting that on a beat on that. Ash loses a handle on it, and that's going to be for a single. And with a runner at first, that's going to bring up Eric to the plate. And Eric Filipovic, he's got a nice pitch again, but all over right there is Eric. That's a line drive right out the crop, getting it quickly, holding the runners first and second with one out. And that's going to bring up Emmett to the plate. And Emmett Filipovic, 2 strikes on him, and Emmett's just going to hit this ball sharply and picked it up nicely. Right there is Barnes, and he'll touch the bag for the sure out. Great job by Barnes. And then that's going to be George. George hits the ball, but look at this. Barnes got it again, fires it over to first in time, and that's Layritz. They're going to no runs coming in here. Still 3-0, and Layritz looking to get on the bats and get on the board here. And that's going to be Evan Quast. He's at the plate. He's got 2 strikes on him. And G. Ross with a fastball right down the pipe, and that's a beauty of a pitch. And that's going to be for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Lamberton. And Lamberton, he's going to hit this ball sharply. And that's Weibel again picking it up. And young man, he has got some smooth moves over to first for the out. And that 2 quick outs again for this little Mountain squad. Weibel doing a great job. And that's going to bring up Owen Crump. And Owen Crump, he's got 2 strikes on him. It's a full count. And G-Ross settling it in. G-Ross fires the pitch, high heat. And he's going to get that call right there. G-Ross racks up another one. And that's a beauty. Still 3-0. Still anybody's ball game. And we're going to head to the top of the 5th. And that's going to bring up Matthew to the plate. And then Filipovic with the pitch. Oh, and that's a swing, and that's a nice hit. And that's going to go right out to Luke. That's another ball that gets through the infield there. And it's just, they got a C9 single fever going on. And next up to bat, that is going to be Cruz. Dangerous hitter. Cruz pounds this ball. That is a bomb, and that's a great hit right in the gap. It's going to make its way to the fence. And runner rounding third, the relay. And runner, he's going to score. And in with a double, that's going to be Cruz Kerpan with a great job all tournament long. And today, he's on fire. And then next up to bat, that's going to be Felix. And Felix, he's going to take this ball 4-0, and he's going to drive it. That's going all the way to the wall in the gap, and that's going to be brought in. That's going to score another run, and in with a double, that is Felix. Young man, this is an 11-year-old right here, and he's something special. And that's going to bring up Caleb Jackson. And Caleb Jackson, there's nobody out. And it's 5-0, 2 runs in. Jackson's going to pound this ball. Oh, but all over it is Crump. And Crump throws it to third, and they won't get him. But, things kind of stop slow motion here, and they start thinking, hey, let's challenge. Let's go to second, see if he got off too quickly. And you know what? They're going to have a little conversation. But look at that back umpire. He says, yeah, he checks it out. Did he? And he is out. So he left a little early, and that's 2 outs right now. But that's going to bring up Misha Lee. And Misha Lee all day just hits a rope. That's a beauty, and he's going to hit a single. And next up to bat, that's going to be G-Ross. And G-Ross with Filipovic with a pitch. It's a nice pitch. Filipovic gets a hold of this one. Ash is just having a little bit of trouble with it, putting runners at first and second. And everything's happening here again, and with 2 outs. And that's Weibel. Weibel's going to step up to the plate. And this young man, he just does it all the time, just like his brother. And look out, he hits this one, and that gets a little bit of trouble there right for Barnes. And that is going to load up the bases. And that'll do it for Filipovic. There's a lot of ground balls that were hit, but I think he did a great job. And then coming out in his Horseman, he's having a great one. But Lucas up to bat. And Luke is a tough hitter. Lucas just gets a hold of this and sends that right out into the gap, and that's going to score 2 more runs. And that's going to be making 7-0. And we still got runners at the corners. And then next up to bat, that's going to be Max. And Max, he's going to hit this ball sharply again. And once again, there it goes. A little CNI single. That's going to score another run. With runners at first and second, it's now 8-0. They just broke this open here in the 5th. Then Eric's at the plate. And Horseman with a pitch. That's a beauty. Oh, that goes right over to Ash. Ash chases second for the out. That will retire the side, but not before Little Mountain takes commanding 8-0 lead in this Canadian Championship. This is a tough one. You look at all the crowd out here. This is just, super impressive that Victoria come out to Layritz and cheer on their team and cheer on Little League Baseball. But, in the bottom of the 5th, they got to get some runs going here, and that's Ash. And Ash going to hit this sharply. Oh, what a great catch right there. That is none other than Regan, and he's been doing it all tournament long as well. And that'll bring up Calibrick to the plate. And Tyson first pitch. Calibrick's take a rip at this one. That's going to go to Weibel. Weibel over to first. Automatic for that young man. And that's going to be 2 outs, quick outs in this 5th inning. And then next up to bat, that's going to be Austin Kane. And Austin Kane's got a couple strikes on him, and that's G. Ross with the pitch and a swing and a miss, but his 3rd ball drop strike. But it's a great job by the catcher throwing it to first for the out. That'll retire the side. We're moving to the top of the 6th in this game. Everything's on the line here. This Canadian Championship, and here comes Horseman. He's got Emmett at the plate, and Emmett's going to drive this ball, and that goes right over to Calibrick. Takes it himself for the out. Great job by Calibrick. And then next up to bat, that's going to be George. Horseman with a 1-1 count on George. 1 out, and Horseman with the delivery, and George's going to hit this ball. That's going to go right over to Ash. Ash picks it up, fires to first. Oh, he gets him. That's a beauty. Just catches him. Kid's got wheels. And then we're going to, there's 2 outs, and that brings up Matthew. He's got a full count on him, and Matthew Horseman with the pitch. What a pitch here by Horseman. Bottom falling out of that, and that is for the strikeout. And it'll end the inning. We're going to the bottom half of the 6th. Last chance for this Layritz All-Star team that's had such a great run in this tournament. 7-0 up to this point. And now Mason Beach leading things off. G. Ross with the pitch, and Mason Beach, he hits that hard, but you know what? That is caught by Weibel. He makes it look so easy. And with 1 out, that's going to bring up Sykes to the plate. And G. Ross with the pitch, and Sykes going to hit a sharp grounder. That's going to go right over to Cruz. Cruz over to first. And just Little Mountain defense is just outstanding today. Just playing fantastic. And looks like could be the last out right here for this Layritz squad. Just fantastic run. And this is Lyndon Parhar facing G. Ross. G. Ross got 2 strikes on him. And G. Ross looking for his 11th, and 11 he'll get. And that's it. And Little Mountain are your Canadian champions. And in a couple days, they're going to be landing at the World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Every young man or girl's dream, and you gotta love that and appreciate it. What a tournament! Layritz all tournament long, just played fantastic on all facets of the game. You got to tip your cap to what they've done for this community. They rallied this city, and the city came out to support them in droves, and you can see by the fans, fantastic job by Layritz. But out of BC, Little Mountain, that's your champions. And we caught up with players for their thoughts on the game.
Just like looking up to kids, the 11-12 team that won in 2022, looking up to them, and now I'm in that position. It feels amazing, and nothing beats it. We're all together every day, and we love that. And yeah, we get used to each other, and we love that.
We came in today with a really good attitude. Everyone was up, a bit of nerves in the morning, but we came in with a good attitude and we just put it to them.
Our coaches, all of them, play a big role in our development and how we play, whether it's like keeping us up or keeping us intact,
Well, we stumbled there in our first game of Layritz, and It was a tough game for us, but we stumbled in one game in provincials, so it kind of reminded me of that. So we knew we could bounce back, and we did. As the tournament progressed, we got stronger and stronger. So our hitting has improved as we went through the tournament. So it was really good. It's amazing. This is a really talented group, probably one of the most talented groups that we've had at LNB, and that's saying a lot because we've already gone twice, and those teams are really strong. But this team is very special to me too.
They are, and when you've got pitching like that, just to expand on that pitching, when you have pitching like that, you know what it's like. You need those two huge starters, so you got depth behind that.
Yeah, well, the pitching part of it, Brad Dorrit, the pitching coach, he does an amazing job, and he's a real student of the game, so he deserves all the credit on that side.
It feels pretty good to just feel like I'm pretty sure only 5 host teams have ever won, and I don't think any have won 7-0, but then lost in the finals.
And you played an integral part in this. Like that, you struck out today for the first time, I think, in the tournament.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say that's gotcha. It's only one. But you're a leader on this team. You led by example, but you led mostly by your calm presence and your leadership and your ability at your age to actually functionally talk to kids and talk them through positivity. Tell me about that.
I just feel like as a catcher, your job is just to calm people down and just keep them locked in. It's just fun. The atmosphere, there's never been this many fans ever.
How about that with all those people? How was it today? Because today was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Did you hear that, or how was it?
It was cool.
Awesome.
It's like you can hear the fans, but once you're actually doing something, it's just like you can't hear them.
You're lost.
My parents help a lot. All the parents help because they're always making us food, driving us everywhere, and just helping us out.
Yeah, well, I never really thought we would go a 7-0, and then obviously it didn't go our way in the final, but what can you do?
People are. Tell me about that feeling with that crowd, and they came here for you guys to see you guys. So tell me about that.
Well, it was pretty cool because we usually don't play with that many people. I knew it was gonna be a lot of people for the nationals, but yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we stay together as a group for longer, but it was definitely my favorite team I've ever been a part of.
You got to give it up to Layritz for hosting this year's 2025 Canadian Championships. They did such a great job putting this on. The field was great. Everything around it was fantastic. And, the volunteers came, all together and helped out, made this possible. The food was fantastic. And just everything about it just seemed to be seamless because there wasn't any problems. All it was baseball on the field. And these are 11 and 12-year-olds, and that's what they're here to do. They're here to entertain us, and we're here to support them in their journey through this Little League. And Layritz, created a platform for that. So I think just a fantastic job by Layritz. All the teams that participated seemed to, really enjoy that in the city of Victoria. And the people came out in droves, which was really special to see. When a city gets behind a tournament like this, and you saw today by the people that were there, it was amazing and made these ball players feel really special. There's one winner, and unfortunately that's the way it is. But Little Mountain, they did such a good job. They're a tough program, and they developed their kids really well. And you got to tip your cap to them and wish them all the luck. Because we'll all be rooting them on when they go to the World Series, which would be such a special thing for them. As far as Layritz, the host team, it was special watching them. Everybody, you could see that these kids really appreciated everybody coming out, and they played to it. They were the cardiac kids of this tournament. They brought a lot of games late into the innings with wins, and they went 7-0. They beat Little Mountain, but in the end, Little Mountain beat them, and that was when it mattered for the chance to win the Canadian Championship. And they will wear the maple leaf strong. Let's get out in the community. Let's support events like this. This is an example of really supporting these young athletes. My name is Cam Smith with U Sports Production. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the field.
On behalf of Layritz Little League and District 7, it is our honor to pass along the Little League flag to the host of the 2026 Little League Canadian Championships.